Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing today, everybody? I got the light is tearing me up, so let's get right to it. The thumbnail was Mike Franzese, an FBI informant. I think he openly admits that now, after he's had his channel out, and he's bebopping, they're saying this, they're saying that, and now I guess he stunning revelation that come to think of it, I did, yeah, you know, like I said, they're hustlers, they're con artists. This guy's 75, he's not dead, and he's not in prison doing life, so it's an easy guess. And he knows exactly what to spoon feed you, and he's good at it. God bless him, he's good at it. I want to change some of my content just not to be mafia and then piggybacking on these guys' names and everything, but I'm doing it anyways. I don't care. They're gonna take offense. They're hustlers and con artists. I mean, take offense. Half the shit out of his mouth is all bullshit anyways. All bullshit. And I was around years ago, and my office, I was selling steel, and there was a bookmaking operation going on, and there was a gambling ring around the country, around the Northeast. And my godfather, this Mike F., were down in New York. I was born in Brooklyn. I was working in Western New York, and my godfather was very intimate with everything that went on down there. Very intimate. He was highly respected. He's not in the books. He's not in the movies. He was smart for that. You see, there was a lot of smart, intelligent people in that life that Joe Blow public never heard about because they were smart. They were smart. Yeah, he did a bid and stuff and went, but they kept it down. And I was the FBI and the tapes, that's all they do. They just love recordings and recordings and recordings. And I heard, well, let me backtrack. I was selling steel and then running errands for a couple of families. And it was bookmaking, running errands. And they had a big operation from Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Cleveland, up into Canada, Syracuse, Schenectady, New York. Even that, they had a big gambling run, bringing in tons of money. And I would run around here and there running errands for them. And the thing is, my godfather, so Mike F., Mike Franzese, he was very smart and still very intelligent. And he more or less, he was always 2 steps ahead of the common gangsters thinking. He's 2 steps ahead. And I wasn't being compensated what I should have been. And, I got pissed off a couple times, and my godfather had to straighten it out. And then things were running a little better. But as far as the FBI, when I was in the office, a guy got paroled from a Texas prison, and he was going to do his work release in our office. Was selling steel, and that could be his work release. He didn't do nothing. He showed up, never, and he was going to squash that. Well, the FBI would come in and talk to him or look for him, make sure he was at work. And originally there was 2 agents, and then there was a woman, and She was real nice. And the one day I'm in there, she comes in and she's like, you really shouldn't be around these people. You're highly educated. I said, how do you, what, you already do a background check on me? You're highly educated. Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't be. I says, I'm a secretary. Well, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, it's a longer, but more or less, she's like, well, you want to, and yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, nice try. You think you're going to get in close with me and then, get bits of stuff out of me. But I did go with her, and we had a crazy interaction. I don't know if you want to call it relationship, but we spent time together, and it was like she was telling me things, and I'd say nice try, and it'd be like that. And I was like, if we're just gonna be social outside of that element, then let's do it. But you're just hanging with me to pick my brain, and it's never gonna happen. And she kept saying, well, you don't realize the danger you're putting yourself in, and you don't understand that these people in the Falls and Buffalo, and you don't understand that any that might have incriminating information is a target to get hit. And so do whatever the hell you want, Joe. But so I took it like that. And so I knew exactly. They knew every aspect of the gambling ring. They knew all the players. They knew every aspect that was going on. They had everybody's phone wired. And, it was just like, holy cow. And Mike Franzese, his father he got out of prison when he was like 100. So the feds and the Franzese family, dating back way back, were always had a rapport together, because coming up, his father was in prison. They had to visit him, and they smoothed around. So of course you got to know the people and the players as like elevated to the top. And when they're running investigations, they have a certain goal, and they will turn their back and a lot of crazy stuff just for that goal. They'll let other crimes happen, or they'll turn a shoulder to it, and it's just the way it is. And people don't understand, what's really behind the scenes. So I got in trouble a couple times when I said the wrong thing to a couple of people. I wasn't a made guy. I was an errand boy. And I said a couple things to a couple of guys, take your gun out and let's go fight. And it was the wrong thing to say. And I had to, my godfather intervened in New York, and, Mike Franzese and whoever was in his crew, when I had to meet them, when I was running an errand to meet them down in New York, and they heard about what happened, and like, I said the wrong things, and they're gonna whack me, and so when I went down there, my godfather knew I was gonna go, so he came in and was like, "What's going on here? This is my god," and they're like, "What? We thought he was from Buffalo." No, I know his family here. When he was born, I'm his godfather. It's a small world. Joe was born in Brooklyn, and you're not treating him fairly. My godfather freelanced, but he was connected with Mike's family in whatever dealings that he would do, whatever his tasks were at hand. And so he knew him, but he was much younger. That's when I was younger, and he knew what was going on, and he said, "Nah, it's a brand new ball game. You better start paying him for whatever he's doing, and act right. If anything happens to JoJo, shame on you guys in Niagara Falls, and shame on you, Mike, because you're getting over on him. He's not a made member. You're picking on him, and he can't stand up for himself because he's not a made member or whatever, and you can't talk shit back if they say something to you. No. So they respected my godfather, and he protected me, and Mike knew. So then I started getting treated a little fairly, more appropriately, and so the FBI and the lady, this was going on and stuff, and as time went on, I got closer to this FBI agent, and I was telling her I'm not doing anything, and then they knew, like they just knew they were following me. I didn't know if I had a gangster behind me or an FBI agent. There was a time of stress and turmoil, but I wanted to make a couple of dollars, and thinking it was easy money. There's no easy money. No, there's just no easy money. Young and stupid, I thought I was book smart and street smart, and then all of a sudden you're into this big jackpot, and it's just like, whoa, I got to worry about this, I got to worry about that. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm losing weight. I'm going crazy on that. There's informants everywhere. My godfather was telling me you can't trust anybody, and they're aware of things. And Mike, well, now on the channel, he's saying, yeah, he cooperated a little and stuff. But there's informants that don't testify on the witness stand, and then there's informants that just spoon feed the FBI stuff and give them tips on whatever their targets are. So Sammy the Bull and Mike Franzese had to sit down, and they argued, and they wanted to fight and everything else. And Mike took offense to it, because you'll never really know how deeply entrenched Mike Franzese was with the FBI. I mean, we could only guess and assume by whatever situation and experience and facts are dealt us. But I would be lying if I said concretely whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not that hard to come to these conclusions, because I think Mike's a great guy, and I think Sammy the Bull's a great guy. And when it comes to that world, there's no rules. The omerta's gone. You take the oath to get initiated. That's gone. Rudy Giuliani started handing out 20-year sentences just for talking to somebody. That was it. They're like, we're not spending life in prison. They're just like, no. So of course, Mike paints a picture, and he has to. I mean, he's mitigating his situation. He's mitigating the situation. Well, I'm just not a stone cold informant. I'm not just a stone cold rat or whatnot. Sammy the Bull puts it right out there because everybody knows the big. But that's that. Someone's gonna rat on you before you rat on them. So then you're doing 20 years going, oh geez, you know what? I should have screwed him over first. So paranoia set in. You didn't know who to trust. And hey, did you go get your cup of coffee on a Sunday morning, I should say. So the lady FBI friend, she was telling me, she was like, I can't keep telling you some things because it will compromise some of the cases it'll compromise you about these certain people, and you either make a decision, because we can't babysit you and give you heads up about all this kind of stuff. You either all in or all out. Well, I was just playing along, but I didn't tell them anything they didn't already know. What it came down to is that they realized that my life was in jeopardy from when they heard the Wired, the tapes. And if your life's in jeopardy and during an investigation, they have to blow their case open and say, hey, Tony, listen, we're the FBI. We just heard on some tapes that they're planning on whacking you on Friday, or when you go to a poker game and they're going to whack you. They have to, by law. I don't know if they always do it, but by law, they're supposed to, even if it compromises their investigation. So that's food for thought. I heard that, so Mike Franzese was in with the FBI and in whatever capacity. And when I went up to the falls, there was things that were that were told to me, because there was a couple of rats, maybe one rat up there, and he might have been in tandem with Mike Franzese, and they were talking about stuff that nobody would know about. Nobody would know about. There was stuff that was said about my godfather that nobody knows. Nobody disclosed it to nobody. My godfather was very reserved. So how'd that happen? The FBI told them. The FBI. Nobody realizes, with all the YouTube channels and gangster channels and stories, that a lot of these people had a rapport in some capacity with the FBI. They don't want to admit it because they want to just be portrayed as hardcore gangsters, loyal to the family, the LC, the La Cosa Nostra, the LCN, and they want to paint that picture, and it gets subscribers, and it's entertaining. It's entertaining anyway, so at the end of the day, who cares? Let them lie. Let them lie. This is entertainment. It's social media. Let them lie. But yeah, Mike. So I was with when I met with this FBI agent. We went out of town, and we would meet and hang out and get close together. And she showed me pictures. They're always taking pictures. You're always under surveillance, recordings, snapshots. And she showed me pictures of people that I knew, and she was pointing, dead, this one's dead, this whatever, and these guys are missing. And I said, I don't know nothing about any of that shit. And they're like, well, these were the guys that you were around. And I says, they're way over my head. I don't know anything about any of that. And so the people in New York, and Mike Franzese was rocking and rolling, and they were going to put someone else in Niagara Falls. And it was a dirty family. It was dirty people. And nobody knew if they were coming and going. Everything was wired. The FBI was everywhere. And Mike Franzese, I was always one step ahead. And it was always like, of course he did time when he says he did time, in whatever capacity he might tell you. Some may be true, some may be false, but he had to have the green light and the heads up to do these things, because none of it made sense. None of it made sense. And all the while, nobody's chilling out. Everybody's still going full speed ahead. And, they knew uh, the old man Sam, that was a boss in Western New York. He was very reserved. He never talked to anybody, but he ran the show, and Mike Franzese ran a lot. Mike Franzese didn't have to be a boss or a captain. Whenever he still real power, because money was power, and he had a lot of money, and you know, he knew stuff before the agents even revealed it. I mean, the FBI told Boss to retire, the boss of the Niagara Falls family. It would never be uttered or mentioned, but he was in his 70s and they told him to retire. That's that. You don't want to do the rest of your life in your natural life in jail. And the Western New York network of a gambling ring was bringing in a ton of money. These guys were so organized with a network, just like a corporation. And Mike Franzese was a genius. He was always thinking. He was, but then it was just like, how good is he? He's getting a heads up somewhere. You know, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. And you know, I'm getting sick of doing the mafia stories. And Mike Franzese is a big name. And you know, I said it before, but you know, I'm talking to people and they're like, well, talk about it. It gets old. It gets old. I got nothing against Sammy the Bull. I got nothing against Mike Franzese. They're no angels. I'm no angel. Everybody did what they did. And if they're lying on their YouTube channels, so be it. But the viewers are just so hungry for it. They're just hungry. How's it going, Leon? Good morning to you, my friend. Mr. Swan, the $1 million name. So I'm talking about Mike Franzese and, you know, my godfather. And my godfather told me a lot of for the channels, YouTube channels and all that stuff. And he used to say to Franzese, his father, Mike Franzese's father, never ratted anybody out, never gave the FBI. He got released from prison when he was like 98 years old. He actually did his 60 years or whatever. He actually completed his sentence. And his son, Mike Franzese, saw that. And maybe Mike Franzese was saying, I'll never go do 60 years like Dad. We got to go visit him up there in prison. I'll never do that. Of course you're going to think that. As a kid growing up, teenager and adult, you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to entertain that. If I got to give the FBI some information and I could still rock and roll and maintain my enterprise, I'm going to do it. Yeah, he got pinched and went to prison and everything else. I knew people that were in those prisons. I knew a lot of people that were around back then that I talked to. And some of the guys in the Falls that were in these prisons or federal pens or just regular prisons. And maybe the narrative isn't what you might believe, but it's entertainment. It's entertainment. And, you know, the FBI, you know, that I had to hear these tapes. Well, what about Joey? What about JoJo? What does he know? No, JoJo don't know nothing. He is not, you know, and it's just like now these guys are bringing my name up and I hear it on a tape. Now, see, you can imagine when they approach these high profile gangsters and associates and soldiers and they go, hey, here's your buddy. Listen to what he's got to say about you. And now you're stuck. You're stuck. What do? You hear them that more or less saying, well, what should we do with him? Should we just leave him alone or should we hurt him? or worse. And now it's a whole different ball game. You know, I'm just trying to make $1 here, $2 here, uh, be a be a waiter at their card games. Just try to make a couple dollars, errand boy, and try to hustle some tips here and there. And then it's just like all of a sudden you hear a guy that you thought was the best guy in the crew that you were close to. Out of those 5, you thought, well, I'm more friendly with this guy. He's a good man. And then you hear him saying, what about, it's like, geez, I thought we were, it's like, no, you're not friends with nobody. You're not friends. Well, no, JoJo don't know nothing and everything else. And the FBI lady, she's going, yeah, well, now what do you want to do? We can get him, we can do this, we can do that. I was like, I don't want to do nothing because there ain't nothing on me. You got no leverage, honey. You got no leverage. Whatever you got is nothing. I mean, I didn't participate in criminal violence or any of that kind of stuff, but she had to expose the investigation as far as other things that were going on to notify me if it might appear that somebody's going to hurt you. And I was like, well, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm not doing, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm done. And I'm not going to set anybody up by wearing a wire or anything like that. Because they ain't going to disclose anything to me anyways. Any guts of the operation or in that order. But Mike Franzese, okay, if you're an informant, you inform about things that get other people convicted. So what is Mike Franzese saying? He's just coming out of late saying, yeah, he cooperated and did this or that. But there's different ways of cooperating. You could be an informant that just gives them tips and leads, and then it's up to the FBI to take the ball and run with it and see what can transpire out of those investigations. But then there's another aspect of being an informant where it's just like you're directly making statements, and that's going to get other people convicted or arrested and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, he's really shrewd, Mike Franzese, and he learned way back when his father was doing 80 years in prison that, geez, Dad, you should have told the FBI a little something. But his father was an old school gangster that just never talked and did, I don't know, look it up. He got out when he was 98 years old or whatever, or 100 or 101, I think he lived. And so that impressed upon him. And it was just like, and I don't blame these guys anyways, because the loyalty was gone. I mean, you see it on the channels. Well, yeah, you stay loyal. At the end of the day, you can't trust anybody. So why trust them when you can go do life in prison? If they want to know some information, yeah, why not? Because maybe they got somebody else over there that they're shaking down trying to get information on me. So you got to think like that. They got all these targets, and the FBI is approaching other people that can incriminate you. So and then paranoia sets in, and then you're thinking, well, it's bad enough these guys are worried about getting whacked, and then you got to worry about getting arrested, and then it's just a cluster F. It's just a wild rodeo, and yeah. So I mean, my opinion, yeah, Mike Franzese was an informant, no kidding, and who cares? He's a good guy. He ain't trying to hurt anybody. He's a good guy, and the people he ratted on weren't altar boys. They weren't Boy Scouts. when Mike Franzese did that scheme and got those millions and millions and millions of dollars, listen, yeah, he handed up a lot of money to the families, and that money brought him power. And he handed a lot of money up because you couldn't keep that a secret for so long. And I'm guessing, who's to say some of these agents came around and said, hey, listen, Mike, we know all about your scheme and everything else. We're not going to mess with you. You better hand us some envelopes. Who's to say that the mafia never handed out money to the FBI? Who's to say? Is that possible? Is that possible that the mafia could pay off law enforcement? Is that possible that they could pay off judges and United States district attorneys and FBI people? And is that possible? Is that a far-fetched concept? You could pay the president off when you got $500 million, okay? So, yeah, that's that's my Sunday morning mafia gangster related story. And Mike Franzese is the biggest channel out there. And yeah, I had a couple of dealings way back when, and I mean, he wouldn't know my name if somebody told him that today. He wouldn't know my name, and that's understandable because I wasn't in a close, ongoing thing. There was some business that had to be addressed a couple times, and I got lucky because I had my godfather there to stand up for me, or else it might have ended bad for me because I wasn't doing nothing. They're all running around paranoid, and it was just like, nah, let's squash this right now, And my godfather told me, you ain't doing this anymore. That's that. You don't need this. Go get a regular job or whatever. You don't need this. I says, well, I'm working, trying to sell steel over there. And, but he was like, no. And yeah, his name was Mickey Campanella. And he was a great man, very smart, very intelligent, well respected. You'll never see him in a book. You'll never see him in a movie. You'll never hear him portrayed. But there's many of them running around. And them tough guys that you see, he would punk them. He didn't have to be. He was closely connected to a couple families. But see, the difference is if you're a made member in a family and all the money you go out and rob and hustle and steal, you got to hand that money up to the boss. No, my godfather wasn't handing nothing up to nobody. They had their areas. And if they found out, oh, you did a heist here, well, oh, that's taboo. You got to pay that up. You can't just freelance in the streets over in Brooklyn and make some money. No, that's our territory. No, he told them, get lost. What do you want to do about it? And I'm going to keep making money. And he told them, get lost. Whether Mike Franzese or the higher people, the decision makers, maybe Mike says he never ordered a hit or a whack or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know if Mike Franzese ordered a hit or anything. I mean, they gave him the power because the money gave him the power. So that was fine. I don't know if he was really the blood and guts of a traditional homicidal psychopathic maniac in the day. No. Let him have his power and let him bring in these millions and millions of dollars, and that's fine. And, my godfather was well respected with all the families, and whatever work he did. And it was like he didn't answer to anybody. See all these channels out there that are talking about the intimidation, and you got no. Yeah, that happens, but there was guys out there that were just calculated, very smart, and they had big cayunes, and It was just like, oh, you don't like it? Well, what are you going to do? Here's my address. I'll give you my address. Here, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And then it's like, I'll get you before you get me. Cat and mouse. But you couldn't win a cat and mouse game with my godfather. He lived to a ripe old age. And he was treacherous. And, you know, whether there was a boss or something like that, he didn't play that. Yeah, he was respectful and a stand-up guy and everything, but he didn't bow down. They couldn't perform intimidation on him. And that's why when I was running errands, he straightened them guys out. Listen, ain't nothing going to happen to JoJo. Nothing's going to happen to him. And, you know, you touch one hair on his head and it's going to be, you know, we weren't close. Like, he was buying me gifts on my birthday and for Christmas and stuff like that. We weren't close. I found out as a young adult, finally meeting him and that later on. But he felt that closeness because he knew my father in Brooklyn and he knew my mother at the time. And that meant something to him. Even though we didn't have an ongoing relationship, we moved from New York to Western New York when I was little. But he still felt that connection. And we got close. And I respected him and I loved him and I liked him. And so, this Mike Franzese and this crew in Niagara Falls trying to intimidate me and scare me and everything else. No. He ordered them guys in the streets when I was down there. He ordered the crew, couple of crew members, right on the street. He was outnumbered, and he gave an ultimatum, and they complied. They put their tails between their legs. They got in their car, and it scared me even more. I said, geez, Mickey, no, don't worry about nothing. I go, geez, now they're pissed off. You intimidated them. They're embarrassed. Now, what are they going to take it out on me? He goes, no. They ain't going to take it out on you. They know better. They better just leave it alone and find another way to make money. And, you're all done, JoJo. You're done. Just go on and live your life. But I didn't. I still hung around a little while longer. And that was that. So, and I'm not trying to bash Mike Franzese. I'm not trying to bash him. It is what it is. That's all. He's a good Christian man and he does his stuff. And he's a hustler. He can tell entertaining stories. Well, that's what YouTube wants. That's all. The guy's always been a good hustler. When he knows a good scheme and he knows a good racket, he made more money in organized crime than all the families put together in the history of organized crime. Some say it was $1 billion on the tax scheme. So, as far as him being an informant, that strong word, it's a strong word, was Mike Franzese an informant? Well, in whatever capacity, you had to have a rapport and relationship with the FBI, or you're going away. You're going away for life, 20 years. You don't think they had incriminating information on him in all their investigations that could send him up for whatever amount of time? It's common sense. So that's that, folks. I said enough. I got nothing against Sammy the Bull, John Guy. I got nothing against them. I got nothing. We're Italians that try to have a hustle and what are you going to do? I got a little YouTube channel. I talk about these stories and yeah, that's it. Oh, a couple of JoJo's just trying to piggyback those names. Well, yeah, of course I am. No kidding. Yeah. I'm trying to piggyback their name. Yeah. And whatever. Is it entertaining? Well, that's what I'm here for, to entertain you. If I could. Today is Sunday, August 28th. Now, my channel is supposed to be a spiritually based channel, but I don't want it to turn into an organized crime channel with stories and everything like that. But it keeps me rising in subscribers and things, and but yeah, it's a hustle, but it still leaves me with a little bad taste in my mouth using these guys' names, telling stories. It's like, I got an ego and I'm confident. And it's just like, well, I don't need them to build my channel, but I'm starting from scratch, and I guess it helps out. I mean, I should hope me as myself, as my own personality, I would hope that would be enough to build subscribers up, and then, do it like that. Yes, honestly. So at least I'm honest about it. Yeah, I'm using them and telling stories and everything like that. So, yeah, it gets subscribers. And maybe as I build up more of a base of subscribers, and then if, see, I could be saying anything. This is what you got to understand about YouTube. Yeah, there's certain subject matters that are going to get views and subscribers, but whoever the person is telling it, they have to be likable. They have to be likable. They have to be a personality that, so I got to be likable. Will you like me, please? So at the end of the day, if you're not a likable personality, you could be talking about Sammy the Bull and Mike Franzese to the end of time. You're gonna only reach a threshold of subscribers, and then it's gonna tail off. But I want to build a base up where I can use those stories and then branch off and just talk about a lot of different topics, and then progress from there. Okay, I do have a degree in marketing management a million years ago, but YouTube is new to me, but there's common sense and logic in some of these things. Because there's people that have had channels for 5 years and they got 12 subscribers. I was doing it 3 months and I got 65 subscribers. So you people like me. I'm not so that's why I love y'all. And that's why I do this, because I want to help people spiritually. But I can't just be a spiritual channel, because it's a turnoff to people. So this is what kept me alive. God, the angels, and divine intervention. So I talk about gangsters and organized crime, and this kept me alive. This kept me blessed. So I have to pay tribute to it. I was raised Christian. So, I mean, that's how it goes. So I do this, and I pay tribute, and maybe it'll help somebody spiritual in their spirituality and psychology, and you can have a better life and a better day. And so grow strong in the light of my presence. As my face shines upon you, you receive nutrients that enhance your growth and grace. I designed you to commune with me face to face, and this interaction strengthens your soul. Such communion provides a tiny glimpse of what awaits you in heaven, where all barriers between you and my glory will be removed. So these barriers of our interaction with God, they'll be removed, and you'll be more intimate one-on-one. So this meditative time with me blesses you doubly. You experience my presence here and now, and you are refreshed by the hope of heaven, where you will know me in ecstatic joy. So yeah, we'll grow like most of those devotions are. Let's grow in a closer relationship. And while we're here on earth, there are barriers in the world, and things are roadblocks for our spirituality and to be in an intimate relationship like that. But once in heaven, you're united closely and more intimately, and you're bonded. Is that fairy tale, folks? To some, it is. Do angels exist? Do demons exist? In some people's realities and perceptions, they say no. In some people's experience, perceptions, and realities, they say yes. I've seen it. Well, if you my book, whatever, I was dead for an extended period of time. I should be brain damaged. I should, be invalid or something. But I got spared that. Top of the morning to you, Bull Jolly. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for watching. I was just saying, the organized crime stories. Everybody's running around. Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? I do some from some of my past experiences because it gets views on YouTube, and I'm starting a channel. But I get sick of it because I think I got more to offer. I got more to offer just on general knowledge and stuff like that. That might be interesting topics, but when you have no subscribers, you have to piggyback what I did. My Godfather with then he's with Mike Franzese, Samuel, on all these interactions. And then my memory is half shot. And then you got to remember some of these things and come up with a story and then put in the thumbnail, Mike Franzese, so it gets views. But I'm not a one-trick pony. I do spirituality because I was risen from literally dead. And I was spared with divine intervention many, many times in my life. And now I got a channel, but whatever you're doing on YouTube and you're providing content, you got to be likable. You know what I mean? And I hope I'm likable. And I give much love to the viewers and subscribers that come in and share some time with me. And I just started getting interaction. Leon Swan's interacting. A couple people come on here. And it's good to have interaction. But I more or less want to just build a community up. And it just can't be spiritually based. Oh, he's a Bible thumper channel. And that's a turnoff. Well, I understand that. So I can't just do spirituality for my whole video. People want blood and guts and organized crime. And that's where I'm at, folks. That's where I'm at. Hopefully, if I progress further and further and I build up, I like telling my opinion and narrative on just any old subject. If I'm likable and you want to hear that kind of stuff, maybe down the road. But right now, I'm in the introduction level YouTube channel 101. I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And organized crime stories work because there's just an insatiable appetite for all this stuff. And by now, half of most of the personalities are lying. Sometimes they're telling the truth. And then there's big debates and arguments about who's lying and who. These guys were hustlers and killers, and who of course they're so. You don't think a hustler and a killer won't? I mean, yeah, it's common sense. They could be lying. I mean, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. Oh, Mike Franzese is lying. Well, no kidding. Sammy the Bull is lying. No kidding. They're gangsters. And it's just like, were they informants? Yeah, they were informants. If they're not in prison or in a pine box in the cemetery, yes, they were informants. Next subject. But no, it ain't next, now move on to the next subject. No, I got to piggyback them until I get 100 subscribers. I got to put Sammy the Bull in the thumbnail. I got to put Mike Franzese, whatever I could do. Yeah, I'm going to hustle now. I try to have a little scruples about stuff, and because a lot of people have passed away, and people have passed away and respect the dead. But I mean, it's just like it's a rodeo. So if I want to go hard to the hole, and I don't want to get into a bash and he's a liar, but the subscribers, do they really care if I, expose somebody as being a liar? Versus, do they just like the way I tell the story of them being a liar? Because you already know they're lying. So you got to like me, the messenger. So I hope. But I've been getting subscribers, and to my surprise, I mean, it was growing like the first month so slow. And I was just like, well, let me just do the spiritual stuff. The stories aren't working. But then exponentially, it rose. I mean, like I got 38 in a month. It took me 2 months to get 3. Because I figured out you got to put Sammy the Bull in the thumbnail. You got to put Michael Jordan in the thumbnail. You got to put John Gotti in the thumbnail. And then on the algorithm, boom, 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 boom. But that's where I'm at, folks. And I also, I know that spirituality is a turnoff to a lot of people. But me and my experiences and my realities, yes, I was born Christian and everything. And divine intervention happenstance upon my life different times. I mean, I was shot at point blank, and all the bullets, divine intervention. I was dead on the floor from an overdose for over an hour and a half, and the angels rescued me. Is that fairy tale? I don't want to scare anybody away, okay? And now I was supposed to have brain damage when I got out of the hospital and out of life support. Maybe I got a little brain damage. My memory's a little screwed up, but I'm still intellectually competent, I hope. And I'm an eloquent speaker. I like that word, eloquent. I'm an eloquent speaker. I taught a speech. I taught a speak with confidence class for tuition credit a long time ago. Yes, I'm a competent speaker. Am I likable? Let's check the boxes. Good stories, boom, check the box. Intelligent, check the box. Eloquent speaker, check the box. Full of crap, check the box. Let's have a little fun and break up the days, folks. We're just trying to get through the world. And some people are just so serious and so rigid and tight-assed and everything. Oh, what about this? What about that? Oh, no, he's lying. He's lying. Relax. Enjoy. We got a timeline. Enjoy life. Be happy for what you have. Don't be pissed off for what you don't have. You woke up this morning. You got the chance to laugh or bitch. Let's laugh together. Let's rise up, folks. If you're stuck in a situation, don't give up, hang in there. Hang in there. You can do it. You have relationship problems. You have financial problems. You have personal mental health problems. You don't have to stay stuck in it. And sometimes if you need a wingman, and I try to integrate this, that, you know what? Why not? I'll take all the tools I can get. If God wants to help me and the angels want to help me with something, I'll keep that door open because it already happened in the past. So I'm keeping that door open because the demons don't sleep. The demons don't sleep. And where do crazy thoughts come from? Demons putting thoughts in people's minds. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. So, Bull Jolly, I appreciate you coming in here, and I appreciate my people. I appreciate my people. I'm a low man on a totem pole, but I appreciate. He was running with organized crime and all this. I'm a sensitive guy. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not embarrassed to say I'm not a tough guy. I'm not embarrassed about that. I want to be a loving, compassionate guy to people. I want to. I owe that much for God bringing me back to life. What am I going to come back to life and be an a-hole? No. I better get it straight right now and try to help. I don't have resources. I'm not wealthy. I got a suit jacket on. I'm wearing gym shorts under here. I I don't have a whole suit on, folks. This is just whatever. I got gym shorts on under here. I don't have dress pants on. There's no shame in my game. I like to have fun. I want to be honest. What you see is what you get, okay? This ain't no, this a t-shirt under here. It ain't no, whatever it is, it is. So I got to do stories that get views, but I want to build people's strength and confidence up also, because I was given a second chance, and that's the least I can do. That's the deal that was made. Let me come back. Let me go back. God, help me. People out there running around like robots, and they can't expand their mind and thinking to realize there are other forces out there. And, and they want to be armchair quarterbacks on Monday going, oh, well, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, go ahead. I don't want to get into politics and all that, because it is what it is. And you're gonna separate your viewers and all that. No, I'm not that. I did it before. You got to watch what you say. And I don't want to be censored. I already got one warning, and you only get 3 strikes on YouTube if you have a channel. So I'm not trying to get any more strikes behind that gibberish. It doesn't have any value, and I'm not getting views for it either. I can get views, I'm Bull Jolly. Okay, no insult intended, Joe, but you do look like Father Louis Gigante with the shirt, brother. My man. When I did this, I remember back. You see, this was the issued uniform. This was this was your uniform, and it's just like, well, let me wear a jacket and stuff because I could look like a gangster. I'm not a gangster. Oh man, no insult, none taken, buddy. None taken. Because I feel like that. Sometimes. I mean, I got I got other apparel, but I'm not dressing up for my channel. I mean, I want to look good, but I wear t-shirts and everything like that. But for Sunday, I put this on with a t-shirt underneath and gym shorts for the effect. Like, wow, he's all dapper today. Cup of JoJo looks good. No, I got shorts on. But, I want my channel to be a lot of different things. And if we could raise up some spirits and we could have a few laughs and enjoy and just be aware of your world and what your world is defined as. And how can we be better ourselves? How can we be better with our relationships? Everybody's in some sort of relationship, either with a spouse or a boss or children or parents or siblings. Everybody's in a relationship. Some are positive, some are negative. So what can we use in our psyche and thinking that can make us more effective than being so quick to say, oh, you did this, F you, blah, blah, blah. No, you're no good, blah, blah, blah. How can we, deflate that a little bit? Because there's no value in it. It just gets your blood pressure up and it gives you an ulcer and everything falls to the ground. So that's what I'm here for, folks. Psychology 101 or maybe 100. I gotta pass a test and an exam to be psychology 101. I'm at 100 right now. But I was on the dean's list every semester for every class. See, will you guys like me now because I'm smart? Will you like me more that, we all want to be validated? We all want to be, we want to impress people. We're just human. We want to be validated. We want to, I can impress somebody, and it makes me feel good. But is that fool's gold? Because then what happens when you don't impress somebody? Does it hurt you inside that you feel less? So stay balanced. Stay balanced. All right. We're just human and we have all these emotions and everything else. So how do you get a handle on your emotions? That's the trick. That's what I'm here for. Send 1999 to Post Office Box 1234, Nowhere, America, 12345. Okay? Better yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the comment button. I told myself I was never going to beg for subscribers when I started this. I told myself I'm never going to be that guy that says, hit the button, well, I'm that guy. I've evolved and morphed into that guy now. Okay? For a number of reasons. Yes, I want to have a successful channel. Yes. Number two, I want to try to raise a little awareness and help build people up a little. And if I can accomplish that, whether I got 60 subscribers or 60,000 subscribers, then my job is done. That my job is done. I like the spirituality aspect of trying to rise people up to be strong. So we'll end it there. And that's why I always say at the end of my videos, be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Don't give up. Things will change. Sometimes you might have to make rash decisions, but you're going to have to make them if you're stuck in situations. So you don't have to be pompous. Just be confident. We're the children of God. Is that just fairy tale talk, a cup of JoJo? No, he's got our back. So present yourself as a king and queen. Have that confidence. Use those tools. And that door will open up with God's blessings and Jesus's blessings, or whatever you believe in the quantum physics of the spiritual world. So open that up and investigate that and see what happens. So that's why I always say, be the kings and queens of your world and hang in there. Make some quality decisions and love and, don't give up. Don't give up. I started from being dead. I started over. From being dead, I started over. And I wanted to give up a lot of times and just say I ruined my life. I'm the drug addict that overdosed and JoJo ruined his life and he's scum of the earth. And yeah. No, you can come back. You can come back. I started a channel, and that's a feat just to have the energy and time to put in that. And I got 60 subscribers. So don't give up. I was against worse odds. So anybody out there, you got a head start on me. So rise up, okay, folks? And Leon Swan and Bull Jolly, I appreciate you coming in here because I truly, in my heart, appreciate the people that take the time out, because those are the people I want. Heartfelt, compassionate people. I tell gangster stories, but I want the real stuff inside. So be the kings and queens of your world. Stay great, stay strong, and don't ever give up. Thank you for watching. Hit the button, hit the comment button, hit the subscribe button, do 2 backflips and a cartwheel, and then, go outside and do that. When you come back, hit that and everything. You're welcome, Bull Jolly. I really appreciate that right here. And tune in again, and I guess I'll have another gangster story. I guess I'll have another one, but I want to emphasize spirituality because we're all going to live, we're all going to die. What are we going to do in between to raise ourselves up in every aspect of our life? All right. So thank you, everybody. Leon Swan, Bull Jolly, a new guy here. I really appreciate it. And don't give up, folks. All right. There's better days are coming. And if you're doing good already, keep going and rise up even higher. So I'll check back with you tomorrow, and I'll have another story, another spiritual devotion from the Jesus Calling book, and we'll see what happens then. Have a great Sunday and stay blessed, folks. Take care.